Hi guys, hi beautiful people. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Abe Crystal here, and today's video is going to be my top 10 predictions and crown alerts for this year's Miss World Nigeria. Don't touch that dial. Keep on watching. Yes, guys, this year's pageant came like a breeze because, like, make it make sense. We just have about 1 week of camping activities, which, in my own opinion, was not really enough for the kind of events we had in this year's pageant. I want to say kudos to the organizers for bringing a lot of innovations in this year's pageant. There's a lot of innovations that I saw that, I really liked, like the head-to-head challenge and them going to a different island to film that head-to-head challenge, and also incorporating of course, the top model competition. And there was a lot more visibility in this year's pageant because most of the girls, in fact, all of the girls visited the TV stations. Aside from Silverbed, they visited the TVC network station. They visited a lot of there were a lot of interactions with the press. So I believe that the organizers wanted a more they wanted a more visible pageant, and so far so good. I love the innovations. Like I said, I love the innovations, but the time frame for this year's camping activities was just too short for 1 week. Activities was just too short for 1 week. Like seriously, from Friday to Friday, it's not enough. Okay, I was expecting them to, have a 2 weeks camp that will, enable us and enable the audience, the pageant lovers and pageant bloggers, to be able to, get to know these girls a lot more, because this is a very strong batch. This batch of ladies are very strong. They are eloquent. They are well accomplished. And it's such a pity that we just have a short time to get to know them. And also, I love the fact that they incorporated Mother's Day into the pageant. Each of the girls will give a shout out to their mother. It was a very lovely, and it was lovely to watch the girls, talking about their mothers and things that they love about their mothers. Okay, so it was very nice and very exciting and interesting camping activities. I saw a lot of the girls in the talent and every other thing. It was a very lovely 1 week. Without further ado, let me get right into the video, because I know you guys want to see the predictions, my own personal predictions, okay? And these predictions are going to be based on merit. You guys know that the organization, they have a way, they have a type, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the persons that stood out to me, the persons that I feel like they, deserve to be in the top 10 based on merit, okay? So those are the ones I'm going for, right? So let's see, and let's hope that either of these girls, eventually make it to the top 10 and the top 5. Let's hope that each of these girls eventually make it to the top 10 and the top 5 respectively. And without further ado, let's get right into my predictions for this year's pageant. I'll start with the close shots, though that I think that they have a chance to be in the top 10. Yeah, I have my close shots here. Plateau State, Stella Obona. You guys remember that she was a guest on my live stream. Okay, I think she has a shot at the top 10 if things go the way we want them to go. All right, you guys know what I mean. But I still felt like she doesn't have much pageant experience, the way with the way she with her exploits in camp. I don't think she has enough pageant experience, but I wish her the best of luck. I see her as someone that can make the top 10. Another close shot of mine is River State, represented by Vanessa Amatri. So far, so good. Vanessa has not been more or less like in the spotlight, but I still felt like she has a chance, given her pageant experience. I have Miss Anambra State, Daniela Okuye here on my list as a close shot. She might make the top 10. I have Cross River State Fit Osang. She might make the top 10. And finally, I have Chidinma Christabel representing Delta State. Yeah, that's my state. Okay, I'm from Delta State. But I just want to say that Chidinma, she didn't really, she did not really stand out to me. So I just have her as one of my close shots. Okay, so either of these girls that I called might make the top 10. Now, moving forward to my top 10 predictions. In 10th place, I have Miss Kwara State, Simi Loluwa Olajuni. Yes, she's one of the surprises for me because she was a finalist in the head-to-head challenge. She was amongst the top five finalists in the head-to-head challenge. So I feel like she has a shot at the top 10. But aside from that, I'm not really seeing her active in the other activities aside from the head-to-head challenge. So I feel like with that fit, she might get to the top 10. So in ninth place, I have Abuja, represented by Mercy Jessica. So far so good. I think she's one of the disappointments for me because going into the competition, she was one of my favorites. But in camp, she was not really active. Based on the fact that she has pageant experience and this is not her first time participating, in a big pageant like this. I was prepared to do more, but all the same, I wasn't really seeing that vibe in her. So that's why she's number 9 on my list. So going forward, number 8 on my list is Akwa Ibom State, represented by Anu Toluhi. Yes, this lady was my number one standout. All of a sudden, she just went down, and I didn't. We're not seeing much from her in camp. So I feel like at the end of the day, let's see what happens if she will make. But I strongly believe that she's a top 10 material. But all the same, it's quite dicey. But let's see how it goes. In seventh place, I have Ogun State, represented by Oyinade Adeshino. This girl was a surprise to me because at the end of the head-to-head challenge, she was among the top 5 finalists. She didn't so that she didn't stand out to me from the beginning of the pageant, but at the end of the head-to-head challenge, I felt like this lady has what it takes to make the top 10. Okay, so that's why she's on my top 10 list. All right, so in sixth place, we have Osun State, represented by Joy Rahimi Mojisola. You guys know that Joy has been one of my standouts coming into the competition. She has been one of my standouts. She has been one of my standouts coming to this competition, and so far so good. She has been consistent, but she's not really giving me that vibes that she wants to be in the top 5. Like seriously, I don't know. I just feel like she's a top 10 material, but I don't know. I think she's just in between. She might get to the top 5, she might not get to the top 5, so she's in between for me. In fifth place, I have Abia State, represented by Deborah Anosike. Deborah has been so consistent in this competition. You guys remember Deborah? She was one of the contestants in Miss Universe Nigeria last year, and Deborah has been so consistent in this pageant. I felt like she's one of the persons that deserve to be in the top 5 if all things being equal. Yeah, so I wish her all the best of luck. So in fourth place is Imo State, represented by Shirley Usman. For some reason, Shirley disappointed me in this year's pageant because I was expecting her to be, to maintain that top position because coming into this pageant, she was the top favorite to win the crown. But, during the head-to-head challenge, she disappointed and she was not among the top 5 finalists. So for me, I felt like, based on the fact that she has, a trajectory of, pageant experiences, having represented Nigeria before in Miss Earth pageant, and also, coming to this competition, she has been so, she speaks very well, she's eloquent. So I was surprised that she didn't make the top 5 for the head-to-head challenge. But all the same, Shelley is number 4 on my list, and I feel like she is a top 5 material. All right, because of course, I think that she's one of the, she's one of the favorites of the organizers of this pageant, because they've been projecting her off, and in fact, she has been one of the most projected contestants in this year's pageant. So I wish her the best of luck, and yeah, she's number 4 on my list. So in third place, we have Ebonyi State, represented by Hilary Idada. Yes, Hilary is another surprise contestant for me because, she has been so, she just like one of the dark horses that rose and surprised every one of us. She is a top 5 finalist in the head-to-head challenge, and she speaks very well. Although she doesn't have much pageant experience, I feel like she has what it takes to be in the top 5 because, of course, she's beautiful, she's confident, and she speaks very well. So I feel like Hilary is one of the contestants that we should look out for going into this competition because she's a top 5. So going forward, in second place, I have Oyo State, represented by Ololade Ayela Bola. Yes, this lady has been like taking the pageant by storm, taking this competition by storm. She's one of the surprise candidates for me coming to the competition. Although she has a very huge portfolio. She is a current Guinness World record holder for the longest in the catwalk. So coming to this competition, she has a huge portfolio, being a Guinness World Record holder herself, and she did not disappoint. She was one of the finalists in the head-to-head challenge as well, and she's coming to this competition very, very strong. I feel like she's a top five material. In fact, she's one of the crown contenders, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so yeah, she's one of the crown contenders, and I wish her the best of luck. So finally, in first place, yes, in number one, drum rolls, we have Lucille Love Oputa Otutu representing Edo State. This girl has shown that she's ready for the crown. She came prepared. Yeah, like I said, she came prepared, and I feel like she's the one to beat if all things going equal. If all things are going according to plan, she's the one to beat because she embodies what Miss World is looking for. She's eloquent, she's beautiful, she's composed, she's confident, and I feel like she's going to eat the Miss World activities. Okay, she's one of the persons that I feel like they are well grounded to go in, to represent us in Miss World pageant next month. But going to this competition, she came in as a second choice, and for some reasons, I felt like that might, you know, impede her, her way to the crown. But at the same time, if we are going by merit, Lucille deserves the crown. She is a crown favorite amongst the pageant bloggers, pageant enthusiasts, and pageant fans. But with the organizers, you never can tell because they have their own prototype. They know what they're looking for. But if we are going by merit, I think Lucille deserves the crown. So all the best to Lucille in in today's competition. Let's see what the organizers have in at the back of their sleeves, because you guys know that the pageant franchise holders of this organization, they might crown someone that we least expected at the end of the day. For all the same, going by merit, I think Lucille deserves the crown. So let's see what happens. There you have it. These are my top 10 and crown alerts for this year's Miss World Nigeria pageant. So any of the top 5 can get it, can win the pageant, can win the crown, can represent. But I feel like any of these 10 contestants that I called, my top 10, aside from the close shots, they have a shot at the top 5. But this top 5 that I mentioned, I think that they have a closer chance to being crowned. Okay, so like I said, let's see what the organizers have up their sleeves, because at this point, we can only talk about our favorites, but at the end of the day, the organizers or the judges, they have their own choice. As we speak, they must have chosen their top 10, but good luck to all the girls. Let's see what happens at the end of the pageant. And of course, anticipate my post-pageant analysis. Okay, that will be after the pageant today. Probably tomorrow or Sunday, I will film my post-pageant analysis. Let's see how it goes. If I will come on live today before the show, I'm not sure. And or I will do a watch party. Probably come on live when the show is going on. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But of course, anticipate my post-pageant analysis video, right? So guys, we come to the end of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to know your top 10 finalists and your crown alerts for this year's pageant. Okay, comment down below, and I will see you all in my next video coming up very soon. Bye.